The U.S. Supreme Court says it will review Colorado's ruling that Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, barred from office, just like Confederate officers after the Civil War. Trump's lawyers argue that rule doesn't apply to the president, and that January 6th was not an insurrection. Now, the nation's top court will have the final say.
So nobody's going to be introducing new facts or arguing specifics. It'll be a very general conversation. Each side will have a half an hour each to make their case at oral argument. But that's really just a public show because most of the activity will happen in the written briefs. All of the things, the 50 pages that each side submits that articulates their view of the arguments.
Doug Spencer, a professor of election law at CU Boulder, says it's the written arguments that carry far more weight here and are mainly how justices make their decision. And in this case, time is limited. Normally, attorneys would have 3 to 4 months to write their briefs. Here, they'll have 2 weeks.
In this case, the courts have not signaled any specific issue that they're going to hear. So as of right now, unless they give us more guidance, every possible issue that was litigated below is on the table. And so the 50-page limit becomes a really big issue because now the parties need to make editorial choices and legal choices about which issues they want to bring, they think are the strongest, and which issues might have to be left out.
Oral arguments are set to begin February 8th. Spencer says justices may ask clarifying questions or stay silent if they've already made up their mind. But what we can expect to hear from attorneys, Spencer says, is a focus on history, from what writers meant when the 14th Amendment was written and the mood of the country and Congress when it was ratified in 1868.
But this particular Supreme Court has signaled strongly that they care a lot about the original public meaning of constitutional amendments and these original views and the history along a long line of cases, voting, gun rights, abortion, all kinds of different issues. So I expect both sides to make arguments deeply rooted in America's histories and tradition to make their case.
The Supreme Court will hear arguments early next month, meaning they could issue a ruling before Colorado's primary election in March. Now, in the meantime, the former president's name will appear on Colorado's primary ballot, as the state Supreme Court's ruling is on hold pending a decision from the higher court.
All right, Rachel, thank you for your reporting.